Good morning, everybody. It's woke Wednesday, but I would call this Cuomo-sexual day because all the Cuomo-sexuals are out there probably just pissing themselves with the new revelations and whatever with the Attorney General from New York putting out a report yesterday that the great governor of the state of New York, or should I say the governor of the great state of New York? No, I should just take out great on all points. He has some problems, and we'll talk about that today. And we might get into some other news, but I got so much stuff on this report that maybe I won't. I don't know. I got tons of stuff. But anyway, but it is hump day, so be careful when you hump whatever you're going to hump today and make sure it's consensual because you might end up like Andrew Cuomo, who, you know what? I have a theory, and my theory we'll talk about after the intro. Somebody play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Okay, let's stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome to the glorious Dawg Knight Channel. It is Wednesday, the 4th of August, 2021, one day before Lady Boomer's birthday, and I hope that you all are having a great day. I am planning, first of all, my daughter and my future son-in-law are going to come down, and we're going to take Lady Boomer out to dinner tomorrow night, and then we do our traditional weekend at the grandma's cabin after this weekend, which is what we usually do on Laura's birthday. And we're just going to have a nice time. So yeah, that's our plans. Even though it's only Wednesday, I'm already thinking about the weekend. Yesterday was National Night Out. If you're familiar with that activity that has been going on for I don't know how long when they started this, but in my lovely little suburb, they said 180 neighborhood events where you go out in your neighborhood and hang out in the street and do whatever you do and have the kids play games and stuff like that. So we hosted a bunch of kids yesterday afternoon in our pool, and then after that, 2 houses down from us, there was a food truck, and there was games and people talking and people picnicking out in the lawn. But really, National Night Out used to be, at least the original purpose of it was when there was a whole, it was about violence in cities, and they wanted people to be able to come out and enjoy their night out in the city without any violence. It was kind of a what do you call it? Armistice, whatever, however you say that. It was when it was time for the gangs and the thugs to put down the guns and everyone huddle around and sing Kumbaya in the neighborhood. And what's interesting is that now, my third ring suburb, which we really don't have a lot of crime in my third ring suburb, but we do National Night Out also. And so in our neighborhood, actually there were 2 different sites in our neighborhood that got, in our suburb, you bid for it. And then if you get one of those, 180 spots that the city says that we're going to anoint as official National Night Out spots, then at each of those spots, they have the police officers and the fire department and the different like ambulance services. They'll send an officer and a fire truck and an ambulance to each site for a few minutes so the kids can see the fire trucks and all that stuff and talk to the police officers. And it was actually a very good time. We had a lot of fun, especially having a whole bunch of the neighbor kids in our pool. Yeah, armistice. I can't say that word. So we had a bunch of, like I said, we started early and had a bunch of the kids in the neighborhood in our pool. And then everyone moved over, and then the food, oh my gosh, this food truck. So the food truck was, I don't even remember the name of it, but it was kind of, what do you call that? It was kind of a Vietnamese American fusion, because I had this, they call it a faux French dip. So it was kind of a French dip, but it had like this like sriracha sauce on it, and jalapenos and onions, and some kind of a I don't know what, not kimchi, but a kind of a slaw kind of in it, and then you dipped it in this like faux. They gave you a little of this like I don't know, some kind of soup instead of au jus. It was kind of a soup. You dipped it in. Oh my gosh, that thing was just amazing. I was so happy with my choice from the food truck. But anyway, so that's what we did last night. First, let me real quick, let's say good morning, and then we'll get to the articles. First, I want to say thank you to the first sponsor of the day, Jim Beebe, who says, he threw a bullet in the till, the 223. Says, good morning, P-Dawg. Well, good morning to you, Jim Beebe. And by the way,
you are the new Streamlabs
Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show today, or just if you want to help the channel out, you can do that by hitting the like button, helping the algorithm. You can share the stream if you haven't done that. I know I haven't, because I was a little bit late getting started today, so I haven't even shared the stream. So if someone would be so kind, if somebody's already tweeted this, let me see this. Has anyone done this? Yes, Somnambul Nation. I'm just going to retweet Somnambul Nation, and there we go. Because I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to retweet Somnambul Nation on Twitter, and thank you for doing that. And then also, if you want to sponsor the show, you can do that through Streamlabs. That link will pop up in the chat every once in a while, or you can just go to PDawgKnight.live. That's the Streamlab. Up in the right-hand corner of that site is the Streamlabs link for donating to the show, or you can do YouTube Super Chats, and I will read your Super Chats and or Streamlabs, and then there's a couple other ways you can sponsor the show down in the description down below. Or you can go to, or if you go to PDawgKnight.live, I don't have it with me. I still have the Resist Faucism merch. So cups, hats, and shirts, Resist Faucism hashtag, and you can support the show by doing that too. So there's a couple different ways, and then also leaving comments in the comment section always help. All right, let's say good morning, everybody. Like I said, like I always do. First in the chat today was GunFox61. Thank you, sir, for being here, and also being the superstar administrator of our Discord server. We appreciate that. Also, good morning, Somnambul Nation. Avascatus Diabli, the Devil's Advocate, Jonathan Peterson. Let's see. Renee Mayette, how you doing? It's Mike Savage, Blarg. James Colley, who says, come on, get with it, Booner. I got you with the with it boomer stuff. I hear you. Also, good morning to... I think I need a sip of my cup of reparations. Thank you. Also, good morning, Aaron Meredith, James Colley. Oh, I said James Colley. Road Dogs in the house. Nice to see you. Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians here. Good morning, sir. Also, Lord Stanhope, Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, good morning to Jim Beam, our superstar sponsor of the day so far. Small Man's in the house. Howdy. Nobody Not Me, Tarai Deos. The Asian Research Directorate, Johnny Blaze, is in the house. All hail Blue Whale. Also, good morning, Jesse Leon, D.I. Freighter Watcher, Zach Osborne, Justin Anderson. Always Lost and Nothing Else, a.k.a. Alone. I'm not going to sing the whole song today, though, but let's see. Who else is here? Is that everybody? It kind of is. Unless I'm scrolling down here. I think that's everybody so far. I hope if I didn't catch you, just keep chatting. I'll figure it out. Also, if you're watching in the background of driving or working or whatever you're doing, I appreciate you too. I appreciate all of you. But if you're thinking about it sometime during the show, hit the like button. James PSP's in the house, Jedi Ghost Bear, and Bishop's in the house. Nice to see you all. All right. So as you know, and you've probably heard the news, Andrew, Pissed Off Shih Tzus in the house. What's up? All right, Andrew Cuomo, everybody's favorite governor, the greatest governor and historian of political science of the history of the United States of America, apparently he's in a little trouble. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I said I had a theory, and let me go to the theory first, because this whole nonsense bothers me, okay? Because Andrew Cuomo, why are all these flies in here? Holy shit. I'm going to have to spray down here. Andrew Cuomo is under investigation, and they claim that they have proof that he sexually harassed people in his office, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not sure if this is the reason, even though they say they have thousands and thousands of pieces of evidence and everything, and that and the third, which is a East Coast brother saying, that he has sexually harassed people, right? But, I believe there might be a bigger issue with Governor Andrew Cuomo. And it's not who he talked to and touched and hugged and kissed and made weird passes at, right? And the reason I call this Cuomo pass, not because it's a double entendre, that yes, he made passes at several women and whatever, but it's also because he's getting a pass. And I don't mean on this particular charge. I think that Andrew Cuomo is getting a pass on the all the grandmas and grandpas that he ended through the 19, when he forced nursing homes to take 19 patients. And that's the investigation that seems to be the one that they're passing up on in favor of this sexual harassment investigation. And I think, and it's funny because all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of Democrats wanting him to step down and all this and that. And I'm like, wait a minute, you think now, not that the allegations that he is facing right now are not serious, but I think a large number and a hidden number of elderly who are no longer with us, thanks to the actions of one Andrew Cuomo, might be a little more important. But the Attorney General of the state of New York and the Justice Department and anyone else who tends to investigate these things have all seemed to just decide to give that investigation a pass for now. And it almost seems like, because here's the thing.
You know the thing.
Andrew Cuomo is a Democrat. And Democrats quite often get a pass from other Democrats on these types of investigations. But it almost seems like the investigation into the grandmas and grandpas that have been ended due to the 19 and the policies of the governor maybe getting a pass because that looks really bad for Democrats. And I almost think that this might be that I don't know if they're pushing him into a way to step down. Because remember how he was the golden child of the 19 governors when back, and I don't know why he was the golden child. New York is still number 2 in per capita endings because of the 19. Still, after, I mean, the epicenter of the virus right now is Florida, which is still 25th and below average per capita for all the states. But New York, New York, get a rope, is still number 2. Now, granted, they were the first state where they had a big outbreak, and maybe they were still learning and whatnot. And they say he's doing a great job now. They were like, I mean, praising him. Remember, he was supposedly, he was afraid he wasn't getting enough help from Trump, and they were going to have enough respirators, and they were not going to have enough hospital beds. And Trump sent him the ship, and they still complained. Oh, we still didn't, Trump didn't help us at all. But everything, all the resources went to New York because they were having the biggest problem, and they never did fill those hospital beds because they kept old people in the nursing homes or put them back in the nursing homes. And for whatever reason, the government, be it the federal government or the Attorney General, Letitia James, who ran on trying to make sure she got Trump in trouble after he left office, They're focusing on this just a thing that sexual harassment just pops up. Right in the middle of when he was getting the most heat for the nursing home thing, when they were hiding the numbers and they're figuring out that, oh boy, they may have ended a whole lot more people than he said initially. And the way they decided, it's weird, they decided to count those a lot more conservatively when everything else they're counting, they're, just whoever happened to have the 19 in their system, regardless of how they ended. We'll count that as a 19 passing, right? But not for the nursing homes. Boy, they didn't. They were trying to hide those numbers. And all of a sudden, suddenly several women come forward. Is this perceived by the powers that be in the judicial system, which is all Democrats in New York, to be a way out for Andrew Cuomo? Now, he's an arrogant prick and may fight to stay in, but is this the way he can? The Democrats want him out because he's when this investigation into these nursing home endings actually happens, who knows? Maybe they're finding a way to get him out so they can do the investigation later. But that's a prominent superstar Democrat governor. Is it a way to get him out of there and not have them around the neck? Because look, I noticed that they like to talk about Ron DeSantis. In fact, last night on This Is CNN, the illustrious journalist and brother of the governor, Fredo, what did he lead his show off with last night? Ron DeSantis. Oh, they are so afraid of Ron DeSantis. And it's funny because I was seeing who is it? Howard Dean yesterday tweeted something because DeSantis has said, the schools in Florida have been open, and Ron DeSantis was saying that, school districts that have mask mandates, if they decide they're going to have a mask mandate in a school district in Florida, that DeSantis is going to limit their funding. He does not want the schools to have mask mandates. And Howard Dean tweets, well, we should just call him child killer. Wow. Child killer? That they want to put the label child killer on Ron DeSantis. Now, let's remember, in the United States of America, human beings from the age of 0 to 17, total deaths total endings. I'm trying to stay out of I'm trying to use terminology. Total endings of human beings ages 0 to 17 in the United States of America from the 19 total out of the 640,000 endings in the United States from this 19. This fly is... Well, I got one of them. This total endings 300. Age 0 to 19 out of 640,000 some endings. 300. Is it 300 or 400? It's some. Now, don't want to see any kids die, but remember, think about this. Now, out of 640,000 whatever endings, out of 130,000 school districts around the United States, 400 max. I'll say four. Let's say it's 400. Yesterday one of the big headlines was, there's 70,000 children have, there's 70,000 new cases among children. That's up. Well, yeah, there are cases among children, but endings still something like 99.9999987% survive it. And again, obviously with children there must be comorbidities and things like that. It's almost like, believe me, I'm not suggesting this, YouTube, I'm not a doctor, but it almost seems like if kids get it and they survive, wouldn't they also develop antibodies from getting it? I mean, look, let's put it this way. There have, 4 or 5 times as many self endings as 19 endings among that age group. And it's up. In fact, I think self endings among that age group are up more on average than the total 19 endings. That's not good. And could that be a factor of what this last year has been like for kids from 0 to 17? Stay at home, not away around your friends, constantly beaten down in the news as far as scare tactics among the government and your local people, although who knows how much they pay attention to that. Probably they're home on their PlayStation or doing that stupid in-home learning stuff, which hopefully some kids are surviving that. But this is not a good thing. I think, and then again, are those mask mandates doing anything? Who are the most likely to be fiddling around their masks constantly than kids? And wasn't one of Biden's former people on TV just the other day saying, when he was talking about the effectiveness of the mask that you're probably wearing at your school that has, isn't an N95 mask? It's kind of crazy. Anyway, good morning to Justin Anderson. I think I said hello to Julie Coles. Nice to see you. Also, I saw, C-Tron's in the house. What's up? Who else showed up while I was babbling? Maddie's in the house. Check out her site too. Maddie, feel free to put a link to your website there. And Bishop, what's up? Am I caught up at everybody? That's pretty close. I'll catch up. Anyway, so let's check out the news about Andrew Cuomo. Because he's the theme today. He's a theme on himself. He's a meme of himself. Cuomo investigate. Now, this is from the AP from the Houston Chronicle, but it's the AP article. What we know and what's next. What's next is going to be interesting. And also, there was it's interesting when Letitia James was giving her report to the media. There was some interesting mincing of words, and we'll see if you notice it from some of these articles, because I got several on this subject and so on. Hello, Chadwick Dupree. What's up, my brother? Nice to see you. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, months-long fall from grace reached a nadir Tuesday. Interesting. This is the Associated Press talking about a Democrat's governor's months-long fall from grace. That's an interesting editorial direction on an article that's supposed to be straight news. When investigators said they substantiated sexual harassment allegations against him from 11 women, many of whom have worked for him. Cuomo, once widely beloved for his telegenetic response to this stupid 19 pandemic, continues to deny the allegations and maintains he isn't going anywhere, but his political future might be soon out of his own hands. Here's are the takeaways from the report on Cuomo's response, along with what happens next. What was Cuomo accused of doing? Well, that's a good question. Multiple women accused Cuomo of sexual harassment and assault. And I don't mean the kind that goes with pepper. Salt and pepper's here, and we're in effect. Want you to push it, babe. The public allegations, which started in December and cascaded over the winter, ranged from inappropriate comments to forced kisses and groping. Did the Attorney General's probe find Cuomo guilty? I don't want to hear about the Attorney General's probe. Oh, wait, it's Letitia James. We're not talking about that kind of probe. Well, no, a probe can't find anyone guilty. Notice they didn't mention charges. We'll get into that in a minute. Well, no, a probe can't find anyone guilty. That's for a judge and jury to decide. Plus, the probe was civil, not criminal in nature. But investigators did find the 11 women who were telling the truth about Cuomo's behavior and that Cuomo created a hostile work environment rife with fear and intimidation. But not criminal in nature. Oh, that's just the probe. Okay, well, will Cuomo be charged? State's Attorney General Letitia James, who oversaw the probe, said there will be no criminal referral. But local police and prosecutors can use the evidence and findings to build their own cases. The district attorney in New York's capital, Albany, said Tuesday he was requesting James' investigative materials and encouraging victims to come forward. Cuomo told the public to wait to judge him until the investigation was complete. What does he say now? Well, Cuomo is more defiant than ever, disputing the allegations in a tape response and saying, quote, "The facts are much different than what has been portrayed, and that he never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances." He also alleged that the investigation itself was fueled by politics and bias. Now, how about we analyze that statement? Hello, Skeptalk. What's up, my friend? By politics and bias. Well, wait a minute. Whose politics and bias? What the hell are you talking about? Letitia James is a political ally, Mr. Cuomo, and the media, except for a very few select outlets that may get 0.5% of total viewership around the nation, Fox News. And when I noted, because that's a funny thing. They always talk about how Fox News is number one, right? They're rated number one. They have this much viewership. They do. They beat out the cable networks and all that. But when you talk about total viewership of media, when you count in Fox, ABC, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, NBC, what did I say? ABC and the PBS and all those other, and all the thousands of hours of programming that are mostly taint cleaning apparatuses for Governor Cuomo. I don't know whose political bias is coming after you, sir. It's certainly not your brother Fredo, who thought that Ron DeSantis was the most important thing to talk about when your news was breaking. How is Cuomo explaining his behavior? Cuomo apologized for making staffers feel uncomfortable. Aww. I wish I had an aw. I need to add an aw to my soundboard.
How dare you?
Okay, anyway, he apologized for making staffers feel uncomfortable, but he chalked up some of the allegations to misunderstandings caused by generational and cultural differences. He's Italian American. Oh, is he throwing Italians under the bus? Yes, Italians are just going to grab you and kiss you. They're like Pepe Le Pew. They're going to kiss you and grab you and hug you and whatever and all that stuff. While flat out denying the more serious allegations, accompanied by multiple slideshows of Cuomo and other politicians embracing members of the public, the governor said the gesture was inherited from his parents and meant to convey warmth. Oh, so your pops was a lecherous bastard too. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm just like my dad. Now, let me just say something too. Let's just say that I'm not necessarily embracing these charges and the allegations that were made against Governor Cuomo. Now, wait a minute. He's kind of a prick, but I understand what he's saying. There are rules that maybe weren't as ruly as there are rules now, right? But you're not an idiot, Governor Cuomo. You realize that things in let's say the Overton window on what is and isn't sexual harassment has been moving in a direction for a very long time. And so some of these things that you've been saying, this because I'm just Italian and we kiss everybody. Well, guess what, Mr. Italian Governor Cuomo? Again, that window's moved, and maybe you should have moved with it, since you're also one of those people who were just, you were so supportive of the Me Too people. Remember that? You were like, oh yeah, if you believe the survivors and all that stuff, you were right in there saying all the same shit that they were saying, and then maybe you didn't change your behavior. Just saying. Is anyone pressuring Cuomo to resign? Yes, they are. Lots of people. President Biden, once a Cuomo close ally, said Tuesday that while he hadn't read the report, he thought Cuomo should quit. Both U.S. senators from New York, Chuck Schumer, and Me Too herself, Kirsten Gillibrand, or whatever, crazy lady, say he should resign. So does U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the governors of the neighboring New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and many other Democrats. Now, I'm fascinated by the fact that all these people are asking for him to resign when there hasn't even been a criminal charge. There hasn't been anything official other than this report says he did what he did. But it's not official. There's no civil charges. There are no criminal charges. It's fascinating. Like I said, I'm thinking perhaps this is kind of a twofer for some of these Democrats, because they don't want the investigation into the homes of elderly types and the stupid 19 and the endings that happened as a result of the actions of the particular governor of New York, who is a prominent Democrat, and probably some people were hoping he'd run for president, and they really don't want any of that. Nobody wants that smoke. I'm just saying. Hello, Richo. What's up? I see you there. What'd you say here? Morning. Wow, USA killed Australia in the women's basketball. Guess our men will have to get you back tomorrow. Oh, I didn't even see that. But our men's team already has a loss to the Australians this year, which is not, there's a lot of great basketball in Australia. I mean, if you only knew. Anyway, you don't have to be under indictment to have caused such offense where resignation is appropriate. Oh, I agree. But these are Democrats, Skeptalk. Now, you know that there's a completely different standard for Democrats. Good morning, Kiever Dam. How you doing? Dr. Keeves in the house. Yeah, this is Democrats. I'm telling you, this is not about Governor Cuomo and his touchy-feely Italian self. I guarantee it's about something else. Anyway, okay, so what next if Cuomo doesn't resign? The state assembly has the power to bring impeachment charges against Cuomo and aims to wrap up its own probe. They got to stop using the word probe in this kind of article. How about their own investigation as quickly as possible, according to Speaker Carl Heastie, a Democrat who said it was clear that Cuomo could no longer remain in office. They are full court pressing Cuomo here. The assembly could theoretically vote to launch impeachment proceedings before the probe is finished. Stop saying probe! Why can't New Yorkers just recall Cuomo? Well, this isn't California. New York has no mechanism to remove elected officials via recall. How does impeachment in New York work? New York impeachment. Okay, you can read the rest of this. Here's the other questions they answer. How does impeachment in New York work? Has the governor of New York ever been impeached? If Cuomo leaves office, who would become governor? Cuomo in any other trouble? Oh! Now there's the question. There's the question. Is Cuomo in any other trouble? Again, I think they're avoiding this other trouble question, but here it is. James is also investigating into whether Cuomo broke the law in having members of his staff help write and promote his pandemic leadership book, American Crisis Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic, for which he was set to earn more than $5 million from a book that stopped selling right after it was released because people started hearing about the nursing homes, the homes for the elderly, in which they continued to move the 19 into the nursing homes via patients infected by it in a place where the most vulnerable people and most likely to be ended by it were living. And anyway, so it's funny how they wrote this though. Whether he broke the law in having members of his staff help write and promote his pandemic book. Notice what they didn't say there. Not about whether or not his the nursing home endings. And now, again, federal investigators are also probing the state's handling of data related to nursing home deaths. Except they're not. They've kind of decided not to do anything else with that, which is unbelievable. Do you think for a second, if that happened in Florida, that Merrick Garland would have 30 staff members in Florida right now investigating every aspect of what happened in those nursing homes? But it didn't happen in Florida because Florida did a good job protecting their elderly relative to New York, especially, and they have a lot more elderly in Florida. Oh my gosh. If he isn't ousted, will voters have a say? No, they don't have any. Well, yeah, maybe when he comes up to re-election. Oh, was the probe political? This is a good question. James has denied having any political motivations for the probe, which was authorized by Cuomo, and has not said publicly whether she is interested in running for governor. Oh my God. Good luck. Anyway, while her office oversaw the probe, it was conducted by two outside lawyers, Annie Clark and June Kim, who spoke with 179 people, including Cuomo himself. Oh, did the investigation uncover any allegations that we didn't already know about? Oh, spicy question. Yes, according to the report, a state trooper on Cuomo's security detail said Cuomo ran his hand or fingers across her stomach and her back, kissed her on the cheek, asked her for help in finding a girlfriend, and asked why she didn't wear a dress. The report also included an allegation from a woman working for an energy company who said Cuomo touched her chest at an event and brushed his hands between her shoulder and breasts. Okay, stop it, Marty. That's terrible. What's wrong with you? Anyway, how did Cuomo retaliate against a former employee? Oh, that's a good one. The former employee in question is Lindsey Boylan, Cuomo's first public accuser. Investigators said Cuomo's team sent reporters from Boylan's personal records. Set reporters Boylan's personal records within hours of Boylan's December tweet alleging sexual harassment. They also said the governor's circle circulated a letter that attacked Boylan's alleged work conduct and theorized she was funded by far-right Republicans. Well, of course she was. Anyway, and let's see, some of the accuser's responses to the report. Charlotte Bennett, a former aide whom Cuomo personally apologized in a taped response to the findings, called the apology meaningless and said that if the governor were truly sorry, he would step down. Now, that's fascinating. Again, about getting him to step down, I'm telling you, they want him to step down before there's any more probe into the homes of the elderly types scandal. I'm just saying this is anyway. And will Cuomo talk about this on his brother's show? Probably not. The governor's brother, Chris Cuomo, aka Fredo, is a CNN anchor. The fraternal duo, sons of the late Governor Mario Cuomo, grabbed headlines in the early days of the pandemic for their banter on the younger Cuomo's primetime show, but Chris Cuomo has since been barred from covering his brother. Tuesday's report also detailed how Chris Cuomo advised his older brother. Yes, he advised him. There's no conflict of interest there. Anyway, straight Sith males in the house. Nice to see you. All right, let's move on. And I'm still it's Cuomo Day. It's the elder Cuomo. So. But I'm not going to read all these articles, but this one from Breitbart, big headline, bombshell report, Cuomo Executive Chamber normalized behavior, contributed to allowing harassment to occur. Now that's fascinating that was part of the report. Notice, again, normalized behavior and contributed to allowing harassment to occur. That doesn't necessarily say that harassment occurred, but it contributed to it. Concluded that, Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed a number of current and former New York State employees. Also determined Cuomo's executive chamber contributed to the conditions that allowed sexual harassment to occur and persist. The report of the investigation conducted by the Office of New York Attorney General Letitia James stated in his executive summary, the culture of Cuomo's executive chamber was one filled with fear and intimidation, while at the same time normalizing the governor's frequent flirtations and gender-based comments contributed to the conditions that allowed the sexual harassment to occur and persist. So here's and here's just one case. Let's see. In the case of Charlotte Bennett, for example, investigators discovered in 2020 the governor made inappropriate comments, including, among many other things, one, telling Ms. Bennett in talking about potential girlfriends for him that he would be willing to date someone who was as young as 22 years old. He knew Mrs. Bennett was 25 at the time. Asking her whether she had been with older men. Hey, baby, have you ever been with an older man? Saying to her during the pandemic that he was lonely and wanted to be touched. Asking whether Mrs. Bennett was monogamous. Telling Miss Bennett after she told him that she was considering getting a tattoo for her birthday, that if she decided to get a tattoo, she should get it on her butt where it could not be seen. Really? Oh my God. Asking whether she had any piercings other than her ears. Okay, stop it. And saying that he wanted to ride his motorcycle into the mountain with a woman. Now, I'm not so sure about that one. None of this should be a crime. Sure, it's creepy, but not criminal. Yeah, I know, right? It's creepy. Anyway, they go into some other details here, which I'm not going to. It's interesting, though. May 13, 2013, Cuomo tweeted, There should be a zero tolerance policy when it comes to sexual harassment, and must send a clear message that this behavior is not tolerated. Now that was during the Bush administration. He said that, but that's interesting. So anyway, they go through the details of some of the harassing conduct in a couple of the instances in the report. I'm gonna skip that one for now. Oh no, I'm already on my last thing. How did this get in here? This is in the wrong spot here. I'll move this down. Let's see. So anyway, like we said, there are people who asked for Cuomo to resign following an investigation by the New York Attorney General's office that concluded Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed 11 women in violation of the state and federal laws. Joe Biden called on the embattled governor to resign. Back in March, Biden agreed that if the Attorney General's investigation confirmed the allegations against him, Cuomo should resign. When asked Tuesday if he still believed that, Biden said he would stand by that statement. Biden was then asked directly if Cuomo should resign, to which he said yes, but declined to say whether Cuomo should be impeached if he doesn't resign. Let's take one thing at a time. I think he should resign, Biden said. I understand the state legislature may decide to impeach. I don't know that for a fact. Interesting, because didn't Biden have some allegations against himself too? I'm just saying. I'm just curious. Anyway, many Democrats have seen the writing on the wall and called on Cuomo to resign, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Under Attorney General Letitia James, a comprehensive and independent investigation into allegations against the governor have been completed. As always, I commend the women who came forward to speak their truth, Pelosi said in a statement, recognizing his love of New York and respect for the office he holds. I call upon the governor to resign. Senator Schumer released a joint statement with Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, the junior senator from New York. Quote, the New York State Attorney General has conducted an independent and thorough professional investigation that found the governor violated state and federal law, had a pattern of sexually harassing current and former employees, retaliated against at least one of the accusers, and created a hostile work environment. Their statement read, no elected official is above the law. The statement continued, the people of New York deserve better leadership than in the governor's office. We continue to believe the governor should resign. Well, wait, whoa, wait a minute. This says in their statement, found the governor violated state and federal law. And they only want him to resign? Now, has he been convicted of anything? Not yet. Not yet. But yet, Letitia James, the Attorney General, is not going to recommend any charges, not referring this for charges. Why? Democrat. Why not? Federal law. Why aren't they recommending the Justice Department look into this? He's in violation of federal law? Well, shouldn't he have a trial before he's forced to resign? What if he's found innocent? Why should he step down? Anybody? Statute of limitation? No, some of these are recent. First world problems, mate. Has it gone past 30? There's yet in summer. I don't know. Anyway, there are more articles. Neighboring governors are calling on him to resign. We've already talked about that. Cuomo's defiant attacks his accusers, saying they discredit legitimate sexual harassment victims. That may be true, too. I'm not saying this is all true. I'm just saying, well, here, let's see. Here's his response. Let's see if we can, we'll put this up here. Oh, it's 14 minutes long. We're not going through four. He did a 14-minute response. Let's just hear the beginning.
Beginning, I would let the process unfold. I didn't want anyone to say that I interfered. I said I would hold my tongue, and I have, making only limited comments. It has been...
Did you only hold your own tongue, Governor? Oh, damn. He did it. I did it again. Stop. Bad, Marty. Bad, Marty. Hello, Check Your Logic. How you doing?
A hard and a
Oh, what did he just say? I feel harassed.
painful period for me and my family,
Oh,
especially as others
that's
feed
awful.
ugly stories to the press. But I cooperated with a review, and I can now finally share the truth. My attorney, who is a non-political former federal prosecutor, has done a response to each allegation. And the facts are much different than what has been portrayed. That document is available on my website. If you are interested, please take the time to read the facts and decide for yourself. First, I want you to know directly from me that I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances.
Now, okay. So they're asking him to step down before he has a trial, before he's charged, before... I don't get it. Except the only thing that makes sense to me, this is, they're trying to gently push him out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Good morning, W.R. Costa. Nice to see you. They're trying to gently push him out. Skeptop, you think she wants his job? That's possible. But I think the deal is, and we're not gonna watch the rest of this, but it'll be in my tabs. By the way, if everything that I go through is in a single link just below the first paragraph of the description, in a link called One Tab, and any stories, videos, news items we touch on today will be in that link in case you want to reference them later. You think Letitia James wants his job? That's interesting. So that could be. Now, the Albany County District Attorney, whose name is something Soares, what's his name? David Soares, said on Tuesday on NBC's Nightly News that his office is carrying out a criminal investigation into Governor Cuomo. Lester Holt, he said this to Lester Holt on the Nightly News. He said, I just spoke I just spoke exclusively with Albany County District Attorney David Soares, who is conducting an investigation into Governor Cuomo. I began by asking him if his office is doing a separate investigation. And this is what they said here. Oh, nope, there's an ad. Let's mute that. Oh, it's a 30-second ad. Is there a skip on this? God, I hate these people who do this. Source said, we are conducting a separate investigation. I think after today's presentation, which will be here in Albany County, we are witnessing at the same time that the rest of New Yorkers are hang on. Is this ad over? Cedar Rapids tourism. I like Cedar Rapids. Let's see here.
No, NBC News.
I just spoke exclusively with Albany County District Attorney David Soares, who is conducting a criminal investigation of Governor Cuomo. I began by asking him if his office was doing a separate investigation.
We are conducting our own separate investigation. I think after today's presentation, which here in Albany County, we were witnessing at the same time that the rest of New Yorkers were witnessing, it's pretty clear that we have an obligation here, and thus we've reached out to the Attorney General's office seeking all of the evidence upon which they uncovered and relied upon to author their report.
Based on what you've seen in this report, is any of the behavior described and attributed to the governor, would any of that be considered criminal?
Well, the allegations early on certainly led myself and other prosecutors with concurrent jurisdiction to believe that criminal activity, in fact, happened.
Okay, I'm just going to skip the rest of this because I don't want to hear the ad. Interesting. So now the local attorneys determine whether this is going to be a criminal investigation. Again, Now, if he steps down, are they going to continue these investigations? Is this a push out? I don't know. Now, Cuomo's another one of his answers. I do it with everyone. Governor Cuomo broadcast a slideshow of him kissing men and women of all ages. New York Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo shared a slideshow showing him kissing men and women of all ages in a Tuesday press conference. Cuomo shared the slideshow after an investigation by New York Attorney General Letitia James concluded that he harassed multiple women in violation of both state and federal. Now, you know what? Let's see. How long is this thing? And another ad. I just ain't going to do it. Sorry, guys.
Hey, it's Danielle here at 4
Danielle,
Patriots.
get off my screen
really great news.
And skip. There we go. Load faster. Oh,
Hey, it's
come
Danielle
on.
here at 4 Patriots with some really great news.
No.
Our all-time best-selling 3-month
There we go.
Same gesture. I do it with everyone.
So here he is.
Black and white, young and old,
Really? That's not what
straight
they're...
and LGBTQ, powerful people, friends.
That's not what the allegations are, though.
strangers, people who I meet on the street.
Oh.
After the event,
Do you want to meet him on the
the
street?
woman told the press that she took offense at the gesture. And for that, I apologize. Another woman stated that I kissed her on the forehead at our Christmas party and that I said, "Ciao, Bella." Now, I don't remember doing it, but I'm sure that I did. I do kiss people on the forehead. I do kiss people on the cheek. I do kiss people on the hand. I do embrace people. I do hug people, men and women. I do on occasion say, "Ciao, Bella."
Okay, here's my question. And this went on and on. You can watch it on your own. Here's my question, though. How many people do you ask whether or not they have piercings other than their ears? I gotta stop that. All right. I know this is too much Cuomo for just about anybody, but I gotta show you this one too. So, whenever you're in trouble, you make sure you get someone who's LGBTQ on your side. Cuomo aides recruited pro-LGBT activists to help discredit governor's accuser. Human Rights Campaign president leaked the personal file, draft op-ed smearing the Cuomo victim. So this is the one where they said he retaliated. Two of Governor Andrew Cuomo's top lieutenants recruited the president of the Human Rights Campaign to obtain a confidential personnel file of one of the governor's accusers, which they leaked to multiple media outlets. According to the bombshell report released by New York Attorney General Letitia James on Tuesday, Richard Azzopardi and Melissa DeRosa directed the release of information about Cuomo accuser Lindsey Boylan after she publicly accused the governor of sexual harassment in December 2020. Cuomo sexually harassed at least 10 female state employees. Okay, now this isn't even a quote. So now it's a fact that he did, and granted, he may well have, but again, this is a report that has not gone into any public hearing, any chance for him to face his accusers. But, it's probably tough because he's a powerful guy. In New York, of all places, which powerful guys in New York are definitely intimidating, especially the Italian-American variety. But I'm just saying, anyway, this said that, and this is just tells you how he retaliated against this particular person. So the article's here if you want to look that up. And then also we know that the Attorney General report confirms that Chris Cuomo advised his brother on this sexual misconduct allegations. Gee, and and that's kind of what got Chris Cuomo in hot water with CNN for a moment, although they didn't suspend him. But the report confirms that CNN host Chris Cuomo advised his brother Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo on how to handle the allegations of sexual harassment against him. Chris Cuomo had previously admitted participating in calls advising his brother on how to handle the allegations. The CNN host was on a call with a top advisor who told his brother to express some remorse about the allegations, but told him not to resign from his position. So anyway, that's a whole article on that, showing the giving some receipts on that. And am I done with Chris? Oh, and then if you want the dirty details, let's see, is this the last one? No, there's two more. Like I said, lots of Andrew Cuomo today. And there's a couple funny ones. Well, this one, so here's some of the, so if you want to know about the disgusting details, here's 10 disgusting details from the Andrew Cuomo scandal. I'm sure you're just waiting with bated breath. Let's see. And they have creative, what do you call it? Headers? Creative headers? Number one, stop and frisky. The report includes corroborated allegations from a woman identified as Trooper Number 1 who was transferred to the governor's protective service unit at Cuomo's request. Ooh. I could make a bad 70s porno out of any of this. She testified that the governor made a series of unwanted advances, including running his hand across her stomach from her belly button to her right hip while she held a door open for him at an event, as well as running a finger down her back from the top of her neck to her spine to the middle of her back, saying, "Hey, you. Hey, you." Ladies, did that voice get you? Hey, you. Anyway, while she was standing in front of him at an elevator. Gross. Call me daddy. Trooper Number 1 described a conversation with Cuomo in which the governor said his ideal girlfriend would be someone who can handle pain. Was that a bit of a fishing expedition there, Cuomo, just to see if you got a affirmative response? Anyway, bodily advice. According to the report, Cuomo told his aide, Charlotte Bennett, he was considering getting a tattoo for her birthday, that she should get it on her ass. I'm sorry, he said her butt, where it could not be seen. The governor, who is widely suspected to have pierced nipples, also asked Bennett whether she had any piercings on any other body part besides her ears. Not surprisingly, she described this conversation as painfully awkward.
How dare you?
Good listener, Bennett, a victim of sexual assault, described another awkward conversation she had with Cuomo about her plans to give a speech about sexual violence at her alma mater. She recalled being traumatized when Cuomo told her, you were raped and abused, and assaulted maybe 17 times in a row and wouldn't stop. The conversation eventually moved on to other topics, such as which celebrities Cuomo wanted to sleep with and his dream of driving a woman into the mountains on his motorcycle. Good Lord. The premonition, number 5, Cuomo, who declared, "I'm very funny" in his memoir about successful leadership during the stupid 19 pandemic, reportedly joked that Bennett looked like an alien from the movie Predator when she wore a mask. The comedy routine continued. If I were investigated for sexual harassment, I would have to say I told her she looked like a monster, he said, laughing. How flattering. I'm sure that's something every woman wanted heard. But again, not criminal. Spider trick. A woman named Virginia Limiatis recalled meeting the governor at an event hosted by the energy company where she worked. The report details the interaction in which Cuomo assaulted the woman after attempting an insect-themed come-on. Okay, wait, what? Quote, wait, hang on a second. This almost requires something here. Hold on. Let me just find something here, because this may be important. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let's try Let's try. Oh, here we go. Nope, that ain't it. Yeah. Well, that's really loud, isn't it? Holy shit. The governor leaned in with his face close to Miss Lemiadis' cheek and said, "I'm going to say I see a spider on your shoulder," before brushing his hands in the area between her shoulder and breasts and below her collarbone. Miss Lemiadis was shocked and immediately informed a number of the other attendees what happened. Let's see. The swab. Cuomo attempted to flirt with a female state employee tasked with testing him for COVID-19, requesting that she not administer the nasal swab so deep that you hit my brain. The employee said she would be gentle but accurate, to which the governor responded with a joke of an implied sexual nature, according to the employee testimony. Gentle but accurate. I've heard that before, the hilarious governor quipped. The woke poke, when questioned as to why he questioned Trooper Number 1 to be transferred to his security detail, despite lacking the necessary qualifications, Cuomo said the decision was based on his desire to increase diversity. He testified that he was on a constant alert to recruit more women, blacks, and Asians to the state police detail. When a local newspaper began asking questions about the arrangement, the governor's top aide, Melissa DeRosa, angrily accused the paper's editor of launching a sexist inquiry. Number 9, the brotherly love gov. The report confirms previous reports that CNN anchor Chris Cuomo was among the team of advisors who frequently counseled the governor after allegations of sexual misconduct were made public. The report expresses concern that Chris Cuomo and others were not officially retained, yet were regularly provided with confidential and often privileged information about the state operations and helped make decisions that impacted state business and employees. And finally, Eliot Spitzer's ex-lover, also listed as an unofficial damage control advisor to the governor, is Liz Smith, the ex-lover of disgraced former governor Eliot Spitzer, who was married at the time of their relationship. She most recently served as the senior communications director for Pete Buttigieg's failed presidential campaign. Okay, enough of that. That music didn't even fit what I was doing. Good Lord. Anyway, do you guys miss me having music during the show? I was thinking of bringing back Funky Fridays, except now I have guests on Fridays. Maybe I could do Funky Thursdays. I don't know. You let me know. Are the porn parodies under production yet? Yeah, I don't know. Not yet. Good morning, Cracked and Fight for Your Rights. Nice to see you here. And then the left finds itself in a tizzy after the New York Attorney General finds Cuomo sexually harassed many women. Remember all the Cuomo sexuals? Remember all those people? Like Ellen DeGeneres and what's that? The Daily Show guy, the guy from South Africa. Thirsty Thursdays, we could do that too. I could drink during Thursday. So, well, I always have to be somewhere after that, though. Although I might do a one night a week evening show where I just drink and laugh at shit. Who knows? But more than a few people on the left were upset. Reporters asked President Biden about Governor Cuomo. Be quiet, please. I'm going to be speaking on COVID at 4 this afternoon. I'll take questions on COVID.
Thank you all. Thank you, press, for being here.
second. Be quiet, please. I'm going to be speaking on COVID at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and I'll take questions on COVID and other issues after that. Thank you.
So that's what they were asking him if he was going to talk about, if they're going to talk about Governor Cuomo. And he said, be quiet, please. I'm going to be speaking on COVID at 4. Let's see. Jennifer Rubin. Trevor Noah, that's it. Jennifer Rubin was not happy about this. And her response, the difference between Democrats and Republicans. Democrats reject harassers and embrace vaccines. Republicans embrace harassers and reject vaccines. Now, that was August 3rd, 2021. That was yesterday. And then also Jennifer Rubin, March 25th, 2020. Watching Andrew Cuomo's inspiring, uplifting, and fascinating. He weaves details and humor and math and common sense all together. He is magnificent. Let's just listen to him. Aww. That didn't age well. Let's see. What are the other ones they have? That's kind of funny, actually. Let's see. And also, that's it. Tom Nichols, Radio Free Tom, who has blocked me on Twitter. This is in August. Prepare for more, but Cuomo excuses now that he's been investigated and should resign as the anti-Trump folks try to excuse DeSantis and other GOP governors for killing thousands of people on the rationale that reigniting a pandemic is okay because Cuomo's a dirtbag. Well, first of all, Mr. Radio Free Tom, fake ass conservative biatch. DeSantis isn't killing thousands of people. And if you want to, I know, now granted, could there be an outbreak in Florida that causes more endings? There certainly could, but seems like it ain't happening, even though they want to try. Oh, their cases are up. Oh my God, cases are up. Are hospitalizations up? Are deaths up? I don't know. But they're still way behind New York, number 2 versus number 25 per capita. Anyway, Max Brute. Oh no, and and it's funny. Oh, we're gonna talk about Cuomo, right? Cuomo did this. Oh, but Trump. Max Brute, same thing. Cuomo needs to go, but Trump defenders need to show a little self-awareness. Why? And again, Trump was accused of things. Was he convicted? And I don't think Cuomo should go unless he's convicted. Oh, Anna Navarro, another former fake Republican, whatever. The results of SDNY special investigation on Governor Cuomo are devastating. Details of events are sickening, inexcusable, unforgivable. Zero tolerance applies equally to those we like and those we don't. No president, governor, congressman, or anyone should get away with sexual harassment. Well, guess what? There was an investigation into Andrew Cuomo, and they found that some of these things might be true, right? Where was the actual investigation into Trump where things were found to be true? I'm just curious. And this is back in April 20th. Are you guys watching this Governor Cuomo press conference? He's doling out all sorts of wisdom. Hello, Sydney. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Anyway, you can, and then, why Jihad Ali? I feel the GOP and Trump supporters really have no standing whatsoever to comment on Cuomo's sexual harassment unless they're willing to go after Getz, Kavanaugh, and Trump. But hypocrisy rules the day. So, really? Where was the investigation into Kavanaugh that confirmed the things that people were saying about him? Oh, wait, they didn't confirm any of it? Yeah, shut the hell up. And, oh my God, Getz. Anyone wondering? Now, look, the Matt Gaetz thing, or Getz, whatever the hell his name is, has anybody heard anything about that since they arrested the other guy? Has anyone been, if they investigate Gaetz and find out that he did some shitty shit, crappy shenanigan stuff, then F him too, okay? But they haven't yet. So, Wajahat Ali, you can shut your biscuit hole. Just saying. Have we talked enough about Cuomo? I'm going to leave this one. Read this article in the Federalist about all the blue checkmark journalists and celebrities who lavished praise on Cuomo last year. There's a bunch of tweets by all kinds of people, how they wanted him to run for president and how, him and Fauci yucking it up about being De Niro or having who's going to play you, Robert De Niro or whatever, and Al Pacino. F these guys. Chris Rock praising Cuomo. There's all kinds of them. But anyway, let's move on to something else. I'm tired of talking about that jag. Oh, it's almost over anyway. Gets paid for sex. That's far cry from harassment. Yeah, you paid a hooker or whatever. They probably was 17 and he didn't know it, but who knows? But anyway, sure, Shagga, how you doing? Hi, howdy, hello there. Tilt slide, sup? Hope you all be in a state most copacetic or with some means of shifting even the least bit of inertia. Thence word. Dude, that's a mouthful. Holy smokes. All right. I don't have a whole lot of time for news, but here's one for sure that I wanted to get to because I had already bookmarked it. So, and I not, they didn't need to put this qualifier on it, but I will read you the headline. As DC murder rate soars, the FBI arrests a January 6th protester who spent 17 minutes in the Capitol, mostly snapping selfies. So we could all sleep better tonight. The Los Angeles Times reported on Monday. Let me fix this here. Hang on. I just realized this is kind of off center here. Let's do that. The Los Angeles Times reported Monday the July 29th arrest of Glenn Allen Brooks, 61, of Huntington Beach, California. His crimes, brace yourself, gentle readers, for Mr. Brooks has been identified as a participant in the January 6th insurrection at the United States Capitol. Imagine. He's been on the loose all these months, no doubt insurrecting to beat the band the whole time. Mr. Brooks' alleged misdeeds are detailed in an FBI affidavit in which a special agent, whose name is for some reason redacted, says that on January 6th at 3:13 p.m., Brooks entered the Senate side of the U.S. Capitol by climbing through a broken window near the Senate wing door. The affidavit goes on to say that Brooks left the Capitol at 3:30 p.m. Oh my God. 3:13 p.m. he entered the building. At 3:30 he left the building. Elvis has left the building. And how did this dangerous insurrectionist spend those intervening 17 minutes? Did he menace any House or Senate member? Did he assault any police officers, destroy or steal any property? Did he go off in search of Vice President Mike Pence, perhaps to cajole him into invalidating the electoral vote? Or maybe hang him personally? Well, he did none of these things. He took some pictures. Photographs included in the affidavit purport to show Brooks using his cell phone to snap pictures, all in the presence of a dozen or more uniformed police officers, none of whom appeared to be doing anything to stop him or anyone else from meandering about in the room. Brooks reportedly shared some of his pictures with members of his church prayer group back home. Oh my God, he's in a prayer group? Get a rope. One of whom reported him to the FBI. Now, I will make no excuses for people who violate the law, but one must question the rationale for expending any of the FBI's finite resources on arrests such as this. Yes, there were serious crimes committed by some people who entered the Capitol on January 6th, including assaults on police officers. Brooks is not charged with any such crime. By all means, no effort should be spared in identifying and apprehending those responsible for such acts, but the FBI's apparent zeal to round up every last person who entered the Capitol that day, regardless of how innocuously they may have behaved while inside, gives the appearance of unfairness. Oh, maybe. This is especially so when compared to the lack of similar fervor to prosecute those responsible for last year's nightly attacks on the federal courthouse in Portland, Oregon, during which officers were injured and the building repeatedly set ablaze. There have been 114 homicides in Washington, D.C. this year, a 5% increase over the same period last year. And based on the Metropolitan Police Department's past performance, we may assume that more than 30% of them will go unsolved. Perhaps the FBI's time and effort would be better use in trying to prove those statistics. So that's by somebody who wrote this. Didn't have a byline on it. Oh, Jack Dunphy at PJ Media. So, you know what? I am already beyond the time that I am supposed to be done. I'm sorry that I spent the whole time on Andrew Cuomo, except there is some humor in that story. But I still let me finish. Let me finish by saying this, and I said it earlier in the show. If you're getting here late, this will be redundant. There's something else going on here. Whether Letitia James wants that office, which I don't know, that it's a possibility. But I would say that, or at least it seems to me, that this is all smoke and mirrors that are trying to point away from a much, much bigger issue that Andrew Cuomo has. And that has to do with the homes that are almost exclusively elderly and infirmed people that were subjected to other people who came in with the 19 and forced by the governor of the state to go into those facilities and causing the deaths of people in those facilities. That for whatever reason, the state's attorney general and the federal government seem to be avoiding at all costs, because unfortunately it doesn't fit their narrative. So you can have these particular allegations, these particular non-charges so far as a weapon against the governor to get him out. And I wonder, I truly wonder, not who wrote the Book of Love, but I wonder if, as the president on down, as far as lead Democrat, the senators, the congresspeople from New York are asking him to step down, if that might be the cudgel that they are willing to use in place of this issue with the nursing homes. And is there a threat behind the scenes that, look, you can either go out this way or we can start investigating these nursing homes? Just a thought, because this is New York politics. New York politics and Democrat politics are not beyond having that dirty of a play. And I'm just curious if that's what's going on here. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before I even finish this sentence, I'm hoping that you hit the like button, because I know that you want to hit the like button. Did you already hit it? If you haven't done so far, also thank you everyone who's been visiting today. Thank you for our one sponsor today, Jim Beam. Greatly appreciate it. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that through a few different options in the description down below. Also, right after the show here, as the outro is playing, I will update the one tab link, which will have every story included. Obviously, it's mostly Cuomo, but also the tweets, also the videos that we played today. Those will all be in that link. And I hope you all have a great day. Please, if you're watching on replay, or even if you haven't seen the whole show and decide to go back and watch the rest, drop a comment in the comment section. That helps the algorithm. And I hope that help you all have enjoyed the show. Anyway, that's it for me today. It's time for me to go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.